I'll be honest with you, man. I am not a hater. By that I mean, I'm not going to see you doing something that might potentially better you, your health, your family dynamic, you pursuing some endeavor, accomplishment, credential, or whatever that might possibly, better your situation. I'm not going to see you doing these things, right? And then look at you and be like, that makes me mad. I'm not doing it. And the reason I know is because I was a hater. I carried that in my soul, man. And now, being a whole adult, a father, right? I am not going to look at another person, yet alone another man, and be upset because they're doing what they need to do in order to better them, to provide for their family, to, sustain better health, to try to be here longer, even though our time isn't promised. None of that. You're not going to get any of that out of me because I was really good at it. And it was draining and it was exhausting. And it was really just, it was causing me to harm myself. So I won't do it. Now, there's a difference between me telling somebody the truth when it comes to something and me being envious and jealous and try to deter you away from whatever that thing is. I've done it, so I understand it, like full on. So the thing is, whatever it is you're trying to do to possibly better you, you have to start working on being committed to that. Like real, like full on, like be committed to it. Try to establish the discipline. And you have to stop it there. Like that thing that you're trying to do has to be for you, your family, whatever you think you need to do in order to reach that goal, reach that status in your life, or whatever we may say. But keep it there, right? I get irritated, but it used to really offend me when people would tell me how lucky I am, how I'm showing off, but would discredit all the years of the work that I've been doing in order to get to where I'm at and still trying to make other moves, right? I used to get offended by it. But then I'm like, I started thinking about it years ago. I'm not about to apologize for me being committed, right? Because let's just be honest now, like on social media, a lot of the talk of the town is about somebody else, reacting to somebody else, right? I promote me. I even make my own memes. And I started realizing when I did that, friendships start going away. People start having these different perceptions of who you were that you don't even deal with no more. But I took a step back and started realizing, man, I'm achieving the things that I wanted to achieve. At one point in time, the things that I envied and was jealous about, I'm doing now. And I remember it, man. I remember it. Like in the military, I had done it until I really start trying to smarten up and thinking like, my grandfather used to say, think 15 steps ahead, not five. I used to see people that would be studying and doing what they needed to do to advance in the Navy, and then, they would advance. And we knew, this is how old I am, when somebody would pass the advancement exam, they would call their name over the 1MC, the intercom. So everybody knew who made it and who didn't. And my last name started with a B. So we knew early on if Brantley didn't advance or not. And I would instantly get, man, it's because they don't be doing their job. It's because they be kissing butt. When in reality, I didn't know what they was doing. But I needed to make myself feel better for not making it. Reality was I wasn't studying. I wasn't doing what I needed to do. Or maybe I should have pulled them aside and asked them, hey man, how are you getting this good eval and I'm not? And I knew because I was going out partying, running them streets, getting drunk. Same with fitness. I started figuring out my science at like 2004. Got to Virginia, broke this hand, was in a relationship that didn't work out too well. Just a bunch of things that happened that were external that I would allow to interfere with my internal. And I gained the weight. I started drinking every day, everything that came with that. But if I was around somebody that didn't have none of that stuff going on, had their health in check, was in great shape doing cardio, I didn't want them around me. And if you were around me, because we were cool, I would find a way to discredit what you were doing. You doing all that cardio for what? Man, man, lift heavier, man. You can eat this, man. I'm taking people that have established their discipline and have become committed to their craft, and I want them where I'm at if I allow them to be around me. Weirdo behavior. I was telling somebody the other day, man, people get so mad when I talk about education, forgetting that it is my career field now, has been for pretty much 6 years. But the hack is I've never paid for it. See, if you go on YouTube, you go on any one of these platforms, the number one deterrent is how expensive it is. It's a scam because how expensive it is, how easy it is to get a student loan, right? I worked we had the financial aid person right next to where I sit. It's easy to get somebody in there to get that loan. But as a service member, I've had people put me on to the opportunities that I was able to take advantage of. I grab that and I share it. From a mathematical standpoint, I spend more on my home gym, my sneakers, than I spent on any degree. All of them, all 10 of them. Time, I've spent more time working out, playing video games, right? Running the stairs. I spent more time running the stairs than I did for my last 3 masters, EDS, and doctorate. So it's not about the time. But yeah, I like to share with people what I did. That way, if you're in the same situation that I was, take advantage. But the great thing about it is, and this is what bothers people, I don't have to get in those back and forths because I don't have student loan debt, especially as a service member. So I am very open about that, take advantage. So I learned, like, everybody's not going to be on your side. Everybody's not going to support you, right? And if you are allowing people to do that, knowing, right, like we coming up on New Year's now, that's the appropriate time to change. Knowing that, you want to do better, then shame on you. Start getting rid of them folks, man. And I know it's tough because you got history. You got cats like, there's some cats I was real cool with in the Navy, man. These my friends for life. But I lost some of them once I stopped drinking. You can't invite me to the fight party no more because I'm asleep at 7:30. I'm sleeping for right? I'm not gonna be around you while you cheating on your wife and stuff like that. I don't condone that type of stuff. So you start removing yourself from the cool kids crowd, and you just got to travel your own path. The friends I got, it's a handful of them, man. But it is a great thing when you can talk to people about the next move. I was talking to a buddy the other day, man. We used to be stationed at Balboa Hospital, SH2s in the military. And he said, man, it's crazy the stuff that we talk about now. Because back then, man, we would have seen somebody doing something, trying to better themselves and called them lame if they wasn't out there running them streets, going downtown San Diego or whatever. TJ, with us. Man, they corny, right? I bet you can't hold your liquor. And it's just fascinating now how the mindsets have shifts. Like when I'm going back and forth with people over text, I got one. I'm not going to name drop him because he's a professional, but he's the worst influence ever because I'm trying to focus in. We got a family trip coming up. My home gym, he keeps sending me shoes. Like, I don't want to name drop, but I'm just saying. But I mean, every time I had a goal in mind, I would go to him. He was the reason I started my doctorate. And then I took that and passed that on to another buddy that's about to defend his dissertation in January. The friendships change, the mindsets change, the whole dynamic changes. But in order for you to do that, you got to stop apologizing to people because you committed to yourself for wanting to be better for you, for your family. Let everybody else react to what the celebrities, the athletes, the nonsense that's going on. You got to turn it inward. You got to get after it. You got to think about it, man. Some of the best documentaries right now are just somebody else's tragedy. We locked in watching it, right? Triumphant tales of being successful and achievement, man, that stuff used to be popular. Not no more. Now they call it hustle culture, grind culture, because you want to get up and you want to get after it. Now that's frowned upon. Go figure. Then you're going to frown at me. Because I got stuff I'm trying to do, man. Real. I got to say, man, why you keep looking at the post? If you feel that way, why are you looking at the post? Getting yourself all riled up. Getting all razzle-dazzled because I'm doing a workout video. I'm talking about free education. Go sit down somewhere.